Hey everyone, welcome to the Mystic Path. Long time no see. I'm gonna pop on here real quick and say hello. Hello. I know I have been gone for about the last 6 months. I haven't really posted anything. A couple of reasons. Last summer I kind of dug in deep around my own personal shadow work and I dug in deep and I was just focused on myself and working on some things and purging out some toxic patterns and behaviors and things that didn't need to move forward in my life with me, right? And then my parents came to visit for Christmas and they stayed through the winter because they live in Illinois, so they wintered here in Florida and they just left a week ago at the beginning of March. So that's also why I've kind of been away. It's kind of a lot. I had a house full of people, so it was kind of a lot and hard for me to do any videos on top of my regular work schedule, chores, entertaining my family, all that stuff. So I'm glad to be back. We're going to kind of ease in with a little simple, easy video today. Kind of what does Spirit want you to know? It is a thunderstorm here in Florida right now. So, you may hear that. Bear with me if that's the case. Our wonderful healing magician cat, Watson, is here with us. You can probably hear him. He has a little puzzle toy with treats and food in it, and he's down by my feet, chomping on that right now. He was loudly meowing and complaining earlier because the storm was loud. So let's get some candles lit here. There's my source, no harm to myself or others. Bring in my intuition, bring in my guides, ancestors, and any spirits that want to contribute in a positive, non-malignant, non-nefarious way. Please join us. Anyone who does not have intentions of positive growth and productive growth is not welcome here. I call in my guides and ancestors, the guides and ancestors of the audience watching, right? So like I said, we're just going to ease in with kind of a quick little what does Spirit want you to know reading today to get back into the swing of things. I should be uploading videos regularly again. Like I said, I just kind of felt called. Last summer, we were kind of all being called by the energy in the universe to kind of go within, deal with ourselves, deal with whatever traumas, patterns, behaviors, things that might need to be purged, addressed, loved, healed, seen, etc. So I was guided not really to do much tarot and not to upload anything because the energy was really supportive of us, going within, relying on ourselves, finding our own path, connecting with our own guides, connecting with source energy on our own. So I didn't really want to impede that in any way by putting up guidance and videos. But we're kind of transitioning, shifting a little bit out of that deep inner work. So I wanted to get back to it. As you can see, we got some new goodies here that the holidays brought. So we're going to play with all of these things on the channel. I'm really excited about this book, Magic. We will definitely, once I get into it, I'm sure I will talk about things that I learned. Also, this was a gift from my good friend Jennifer. Shout out to Jennifer if she's watching. This is a holiday gift. Super excited. It's like all the great artists, not all of, but quite a few of the great artists in history. And it's like Art Oracle. I've only really flipped through the cards, haven't really played with them. Same with these. We got the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, which super excited about. I know next year for the holidays, this is going to be great. Obviously, I haven't even really cracked this open yet. But these are exciting, so we'll probably just play a little bit with these today. And then this, also excited. This, okay, sorry, I just want to make sure I'm holding, okay. This Oracle deck, also not played with any of these things, so we're just gonna get all this out and see what messages Spirit has for us today. Okay. And then, like I said, I'll start getting back into the swing of the energy video, the energy updates that I do, and the what's going on in the stars and all of that. I just wanted to kind of play with these new decks a little bit today, do a short little reading so that we can, ease back in. Don't mind my hand here. I don't know if you can tell, I have a big scratch right here. My cat got me. There was a snake in my yard that Gaia sent as a message, and it startled me. And so then I startled my cat because and then the cat just reacted and scratched me because obviously I startled it and there was a snake in its view. So it was just be doing its instincts, right? But my hand's a little, I figured people would be commenting, what happened? We're all fine and good. It's healing up great. And then what? Oh, one more thing I did want to talk about. There is this docuseries online. It's called Changing of the Gods. You can go to changingofthegods.com. I will put the link in the description box below if I remember. Hopefully I will. Anyway, they offered a few weekends ago, they offered like a free weekend because the docuseries costs. And I was able to catch it on the free weekend. And it was such a good series. And it kind of takes you back in global human history, like all the way back to the 12 and 1300s until now. And they show you certain planet alignments, and when the planet alignments happen in history, every time they've happened for thousands of years, like this certain planet alignment of Uranus and Pluto pushes humans to stand up for their rights, to stand up against things they feel are wrong, to find and live in their power, right? To wake up to any manipulation or brainwashing or programming that they've been kind of following unawarely, right? And anyway, it's just really interesting, this docuseries. They kind of take astrology, astronomy, philosophy, anthropology, history, and they kind of give you a beautiful overview of the human experience from like the 1200s until present. And when you see it all laid out like a timeline, it makes you realize that, the human experience, there is a pattern to it, just like there's a pattern to everything else in the universe, right? In the cosmos. So it kind of lays out in a easily digestible way, and then you can start to see these patterns to where like we have like a 12 to 15 year period of like chaos and uprising and society, it appears like is like falling apart, right? But then after that 12 to 15 year period, there's always like a 20 to 30 year period of prosperity, moving forward, like, you know, moving forward in civil rights, in women's rights, in LGBT rights, things like that. So what it kind of showed me is that, you know, even when it appears like right now we're in this 12 to 15 year period of chaos, right? Which makes perfect sense if you think about the last 12 to 15 years. We're at the tail end of it right now. And you think about like what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. Quickly, I've been lighting a candle every day for the innocents on both sides of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, because there are lots of innocents that aren't making these decisions, right, that are suffering. So anyone who's an innocent and who's suffering and who's struggling because of this conflict, I've been we need to send them all our love and peaceful, compassionate energy. But that's a perfect example. Like all the upheaval happening with this 2-year sickness thing we just went through, right? I don't want to say it because it gets flagged if I say it, but you know, you can see society's been in that period of chaos where it seems like everything's falling apart. But when you can zoom way out and see that big picture, and they showed that timeline, it kind of makes you realize that things really aren't falling apart. They're falling together. Like, people are waking up. People are standing up for themselves. People are disrupting and finding new ways to invent things and solve problems. And then that's what spurs the 20 to 30 year span of like harmony, moving forward, peace, prosperity. And then again, there will be another 12 to 15 year period. But when you see it all laid out for thousands of years, you can kind of see the human experience as a collective is like a couple steps forward, and then we slide a step back. A couple steps forward, we slide a step back, right? But in those couple steps forward, we do make a lot of movement. And that was the other thing. When you see it all laid out like that from like around the 1300s until now, one thing you start to see is that we really have come a long way, right? It feels like we haven't, as humans, come a long way or evolved. I know I've felt like that before. I get frustrated and I just feel like, gosh, why can't we evolve already? Why are we still so mired in like judgment and hate and all of those things? But when you look at the timeline of humanity and you zoom out and look at the collective experience, we really have come a long way. And we really have made a lot of progress, right? So I just wanted to mention that. And now let's get excited and get into it, play with cards. But again, it's called changingofthegods.com is where you can find all the episodes. There are 11 episodes, I think. And, you know, they're all really, really good. So I just wanted to put that out there for anybody who's interested in watching. And now, these are all new decks, so we're going to clear them, put my energy in them, and do some shuffling. And then we'll just pull some cards and see what source energy wants us to know right now. Right? Sorry, I probably should have pre-shuffled a little bit since these are all brand new. I'll set the intention for all of these decks that we get insightful, productive answers that help us grow and move forward, personally and as a collective. Right? We ask source energy to clear our heart and bring us clear, concise messages. I ask my ancestors and guides to come forward anytime I'm using these decks. I ask source energy to come forward. And I ask that we are protected while our gifts are open from using any of these tools. Sage one more time. Ask that we are protected from any energies or entities that have any malicious or nefarious intent. Those energies are not welcome. And we ask any energy or entity that has helpful, productive messages from love to come forward and assist in bringing forth any messages for those watching. I am just a channel. I am grateful for my gifts. I am just a clear channel. To be used to convey any messages that need to get out to those watching. This is as always, this and all my other videos are timeless. You get the messages when you are meant to receive them. And one more thing we want to say, please don't make the messages fit. If they do not resonate for you, they are not for you. Do not try to force them to fit. Do not try to make up stories to make them fit. These messages may not be for you. There are lots of other videos on this channel. If you feel guided, or one of the titles or thumbnails jumps out at you, then those might be the messages for you. Again, I thank you, Spirit, for my gifts and give permission to be a clear channel to convey clear messages to anyone watching. All right. Couple more shuffles. I know normally I wouldn't be shuffling this much, but again, all new decks. Want to make sure we get them all shuffled, imbibed, right? Okay. Ooh, my ring's coming off. So let's just, 3 cards, please, 3 cards. What would you like us to know? free cards, please. What are the messages right now? One. Sorry, still a little new. Need to be broken in a little bit, right? Oh. Okay. Bear with me, people. A lot of practice here. And these new cards are so stiff, right? Whoop, that's it. Okay. All right. So, first we have Page of Needles, which I'm guessing is Page of Wands. King of... Or no, actually, Needles is probably Swords. Let me just double check. But that seems like Needles. So Candles is Wands, right? Okay, yes. So Potions is Cups, Candles is Wands, Needles is Swords, Presence is Pentacles. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords, King of Swords, and the Moon. Page of Swords, King of Swords, and the Moon. Okay. So I feel like... Okay. I feel like what this is saying is it's time to start merging, because the Moon is about intuition, emotions. Sometimes it's about secrets, but that's not what I'm feeling this is saying. Is it's time for us to, and swords are all about like your mental space, right? What you believe, what you think, what's going on in your mind, right? So what I feel this is saying here is those of you watching, you're doing a successful job of moving from your mind into your intuition, right? And I feel like the message I'm getting right now is if you have not started that shift yet, it is long overdue. Yeah, okay. I'm getting confirmation because my left ear is ringing loudly, and when the spirits come, a couple of things happen for me. I either get goosebumps all over my whole body, starting at my feet and go all the way up to my head, or my ears start ringing very, very loudly, or my nose starts itching and I start sneezing. And today we're doing the ringing. Thank you very much. Appreciate the ringing. So thank you for the confirmation. So what I'm hearing is, for those of you watching, it's time for us to start letting our intuition lead, but that does not mean completely check out of your mental space, right? That does not mean stop thinking things through, stop approaching things with strategy. What it means is it's the messages I'm getting are, this is confirmation for some of you that you're successfully making that shift. This is a message for the other half of you that it's time to start marrying these two things. It's time to start marrying your intuition with your mental thinking space, okay? Okay, the message I'm hearing is a lot of you for a while will like tap into your thinking side and approach things from that way, or tap into your intuition and approach things from that way, but you're not really using them together. So the messages I'm getting is it's time to start using those things together, right? Whoops. Okay. Yeah. And okay, yeah. Okay. And just flew out here. I make sure, yeah, okay, just want to make sure you can see the cards. So here we have the 7 of Cups and the Hanged Man. So it's like, okay, what I'm hearing is the hurdle could be that you might just get stuck in this emotional place and get paralyzed by it. I'm sorry, I got distracted because I don't know if you've noticed, but we have a little fire up here. So let me just fix that so that glass does not break. Apologies, bear with me. We just want to get the wick. There we go. Let's just get the wick in the middle. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Because I've had that happen before where the glass just broke because the fire was like too much. Okay. So sorry for the interruption there. Okay. So, yes. Well, it's funny. Obviously it's not funny, right? There are no accidents, there are no coincidences. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen for a reason, right? And they're all signs and messages. I've been reading the Will Smith's autobiography, and it's very, very excellent. If anybody's been on the fence or wants to read it, can't decide, even if maybe you've never even considered reading it, you should read it. It is excellent. I read a lot of books, and it's one of the best autobiographies I've ever read thus far. And one of the things he talks about in there is that he learned from Quincy Jones, which is don't get paralyzed by analysis. So don't paralyze by analyzing. So what he basically means by that is don't get in your own way and block yourself from your blessings because you're caught up in this analyzing, right? And that's what I heard when these two cards fell out. What I heard in my head was analysis causes paralysis, which is what he says in the book over and over again. He, like, whenever he's reached certain choice points in his life, right, he will get reminded of Quincy Jones saying that. And paralysis by analysis, which means you're overthinking things to the point that you're paralyzing yourself. And that's what I'm getting. The hurdle here, I'm hearing the hurdle is you're getting stuck in the Hanged Man mode. You're getting stuck in like contemplation mode because you're letting your emotions poison you. Look at that. I mean, it makes perfect sense why they named emotions poisons in this deck, right? Can you see that? Yeah. So, and look at all these. It's like all these things are working against you and holding you in this hanging limbo. And what source energy is wanting you to know right now is it's time to become the King of Swords by marrying your intuition, your emotions, and your thinking mind, right? So we need to marry all these things together to be successful and in our growth. So whatever situation you're asking about or wanting to know about, I feel like that's what the cards are saying. The cards are saying, don't get paralyzed by analyzing, right? So don't get stuck over here. I mean, I do feel like this is confirmation for some of you, because some of you have moved from the page to the king to the moon, right? So this is confirmation for some of you that you're doing well, you're shifting, you're starting to realize that you can't just be in the thinking mind or be in the emotional body or be in the intuition. You gotta integrate all these things to be successful and to make the best decisions, right? Okay, so now we're gonna pull one of these art. Change your life with art. Consult the oracles today. Okay, again, shout out to Jennifer. This is a great gift for me, especially as an artist. So we're gonna tap into these two right now for guidance. What? Whoop. Okay. Any more guidance from the art articles? Nope, just that one, huh? Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. And then what kind of crystal will help support us in this challenge of integrating our thinking mind, our emotional mind, and our intuition? All right. So we have, you live in abundance, imperial topaz, which we'll read about here in a moment. And then we also have Gilbert and George. Be the art you wish to see in the world. Your work should not be selfish. Dress the part. Okay. So what I just heard from my guides is this isn't for everybody, but somebody watching is fully integrated, but they're like, okay, there's a fear that if they show the world how integrated they are, it's not going to work out in their favor. But this you live in abundance card is telling me it is. Okay? You are abundant. You are integrated. And you need to live in that. Own it. Be proud of yourself. And don't hide it. Stay in your power. Okay? That's a specific message for somebody. But let's just see. Let's read about this. Gilbert and George. Let me find it in the book here. Not in alphabetical order, which I don't love because it makes it harder to find. What we're looking for. Okay. Okay. I mean, of course, yeah, here it's like towards the end of the book, okay? Gilbert Proche and George Passmore have waved the banner of art for all since their collaborative debut in 1967, with works addressing sex, religion, politics, and social taboos through an aesthetic of sometimes hallucinatory pop. Early works include living sculpture, in which Gilbert and George painted themselves metallic and walked London streets. Today they're known for large grid-like paintings and are identified by both their trademark tailored suits and their birthday suits. They're often the nude subjects of their own work. Gilbert and George have described their influences as everything from humanity to universal suffering. Okay? And as I was reading that, I got a message that the guidance for those of you watching, be the art to wish, okay, sorry. Be the art you wish to see in the world. Okay? The message I'm getting is it's for all of us. Okay? Well, when I was reading that, what I was hearing was some of you watching seem to, when you're doing spiritual work, the people you're watching or taking guidance and advice from, you put on a pedestal, and you may say things to yourself like, well, she's so enlightened, or he's so enlightened, or he's so balanced, and he's done more work than I have, whatever. I can't be integrated because I haven't come as far as they've come, right? And the message I was hearing is being integrated. Like, some of you think that only certain people have special gifts and can talk to spirit and can get messages from the universe. And that's not the case. The guidance is it's for everybody. We're all supposed to clear our traumas, do our work, face our deepest, darkest shadows, and love and heal it. And then we all would be able to tap into spirit and lead more abundant lives. Some of you watching seem to think only certain people are, what I'm hearing, are marked. Certain people are marked to be exceptional. That's what I'm hearing. And this guidance is saying, no, all of us are marked to be exceptional. Every single one of us are marked to be exceptional in our own special way, in our own special, whatever our strong suit is. So dispel the notion that integration and living happy and living in a joyful, harmonious, balanced way is only for certain people. It's for all of us. We just have to be willing to do the work to get there, okay? And Imperial Topaz, let's look that up in this book, because this is the crystal right here. Okay, you live in abundance. Imperial Topaz. So I asked Spirit what crystal could help us support being integrated, doing the work, being confident enough to show the world we're integrated and we live in our own power. And this is the card that came out, right? Okay, so this says, when we are satiated, when we feel we have enough, full spirit, full heart, we can relax and offer abundance to those around us. This is Imperial Topaz's gift, the ability to savor life and take nourishment from its beauty. Topaz helps us find sensitivity within ourselves so we can notice with all of our senses and appreciate with our whole being the minute workings of the world. From this place of abundance, we become a cornucopia full and overflowing with energy, which can be shared as kindness or courage or wisdom with those around us. There is wonder everywhere. Imperial Topaz whispers, it's up to you to take it in and assimilate it into your heart. See? Man, this is a good reading. I feel like this is a good one for our first one back for a while. We're going to leave it there because I feel like that guidance could not be any more clear. Both of these cards are saying, like, it's for all of us. Assimilate, do your work. It's not just for certain people, energy work. It's not just, oh, she's a healer and that's why she has gifts. We all have these gifts. We've just been taught not to believe in them. We've been taught that they're nonsense or make-believe. And that, we're shifting out of that, okay? This is what this reading is saying. It's time for us to shift from all this intellect and thinking and to add in our intuition, right? We need to integrate our emotional body, our thinking body, our intuition, our physical body. It's time to integrate all these things. It's for all of us, right? It's for everyday people. We can all live in happiness and harmony. We all are worthy of it, I just heard. And I'm leaving it there because that's, I mean, you can't get any better than that. We're all worthy of it. A life of abundance. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, weekend, whatever it is, week. And I'll see you next time.